Hey guys, this is Hank. It is, what is it? I'll start back over. Hey guys, this is Hank. It is February the 3rd, 0005, and me and my friend Mr. L here, we are exploring consciousness. He has a really hard time visualizing things, so I asked him to keep his eyes wide open. We did that yesterday, and he had an amazing experience, eyes wide open. Um, and I just told him to look at his ceiling because it's all white. And I am guiding him visually into his mind. I will give him all types of suggestions for him to see certain things and then let it just run its course and the scene sort of takes over. So here we go. And once again, take another long, slow, deep breath. Inhale deeply and hold it. 2, 3. Slowly release through your mouth. 2, 3. And hold. 2, 3. Inhale deep through your nose, fill up your lungs, and hold, and slowly release, and feel the relaxation moving through your body. And hold. 2, 3. Last time, inhale deep, and slowly release. No more holding. I just want you to focus on your breath and focus on my voice. And anything that I ask you to visualize, I just want you to visualize it until it's there. So I'd like you to visualize yourself in front of a door. And you don't know that door. We went there several times. Tell me when you can visualize yourself standing in front of a door.
I can. Yeah.
Excellent. And I want you to look at the door knob. What does the doorknob look like on your door that you're visualizing?
It's round, gold,
Oh, good.
round and knob.
Excellent. And the door is going to open. Tell me when you see the door open.
Yes.
And it open towards you or open in?
Yeah, inwards.
Oh, very good. So let's go ahead and step into this environment. And tell me, what is it like today, this time through the store?
Just a lot of bright white light.
Ah, very nice. I want you to imagine being in a beautiful garden and see the door, see the white light just transforming into a beautiful garden.
Mhm.
And tell me when you can see anything in the garden.
I can see the garden.
Ah, very nice. And step into the garden, and I just want you to look at the floor of the garden and tell me, what is the floor like? What is it of this garden?
It's grass.
Oh, just grass. Very nice. And I can hear a waterfall. I look over to your left. Can you see that waterfall?
Yeah,
Oh, good. Now, if you start walking toward the waterfall, it's going to turn to light. And I just would like you to walk through that light, that through the waterfall and back into the garden and tell me once you've done that.
hmm
Oh, very nice. That white light that came over you is your protection. You'll be protected against anything. So you're nice and safe. And so as you walk through the garden, can you describe anything in the garden? Any of the greenery? What's there? Flowers? What?
I see a lot of flowers for whatever reason. So a lot of sunflowers. I love those things. Just can see little butterflies and even bees. Just flying around.
Oh,
It's
nice.
pretty sunny out there.
And what color is the sky in this place?
It's blue, like not one cloud can be seen, just like pure, you know,
Wow, very nice.
blue.
I know when there's butterflies and bees around like that, fairies tend to be around. I want you to look around if you see any little fairies flying around.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, good. And just hold your hand up, and one of the fairies, hold your palm up, and one of the fairies will come and just land in your hand.
Yeah,
Oh, very good. And I want you to introduce yourself. Does she have a name? Or does is it a male or female fairy?
Misty is her name.
Ah, Misty. Excellent. Hi, Misty. Misty, uh, Laurent has a desire to do a little visiting. Could you be his guide, please?
Sure.
Oh, very nice. First, he'd like to go back to that lake, that beautiful lake that Bigfoot took him to the other day, because he'd like to speak to Nancy again, just quickly.
Okay.
Very nice. Is Misty taking you toward the lake?
Yes.
And tell me when you get to the lake.
We just popped in there.
Oh, nice, very nice. And look out onto the water and see if you can see Nancy coming in her little rowboat again.
Yeah, here she comes.
Oh, good, good, good. Now I want you to really get a good look at Nancy this time. I think today you'll be able to see her even more clearer than you were able to yesterday. And tell me when Nancy comes out of the boat.
It's kind of floating on the water this time.
Okay. So, would you like to turn to a ferry as well and fly out there with Misty to land on the boat?
No, Nancy just came to me.
How does she get to you?
Just floating on the water, and just instead of getting out of the boat and going in the water, just was walking on it
Oh, nice.
without
How?
going through it.
Oh, good, good, good. Hello, Nancy. We're back.
I
We tried to record this session yesterday, and something happened. We caught the very beginning, and but we're recording on different devices today. And Laurent was really happy to see you. Once the session was over, he was like, "You were so significant and so powerfully drawn to him. Could you give him a little bit more information about your connection, please?"
We're just one, the same.
So would you be considered a higher aspect of him
Yes,
and a higher aspect that guides him through this life that he's living as Laurent?
yes.
And we were asking you about, some of the things that are going on in his life, the challenges that he was having, and you said that they were going to continue. Could you explain why they're going to continue? What's the importance of them continuing?
The challenges are not going to continue.
Uh,
The activity is going to continue.
Understood. And so when you say the activities, and thank you for that very much, what particular activities do you mean?
What he does every day, he's gonna keep doing it.
He really loves it.
Yes,
So what is it that he said he can't ask something out about it? There's something, and I'd say it's fear. But could you elaborate with him on what it is making the challenge so difficult?
he's constant need of understanding everything.
Well, sometimes that could be good, and how is that to his detriment in this scenario?
It's just not perfect, and he's looking for perfection.
And what do you suggest that he does to help him? I know you said the challenges are going to cease, they're not going to continue, but that could be what, in days and weeks and months or years?
As soon as he soon as he understands that imperfection is okay, um, it will make much stride.
Excellent. And were you listening to the conversation that he and I were having before we started this session?
Yes,
Could you did you think how I was presenting it to him was proper, or is there something that I was missing that you could probably elaborate on that would help reach him?
can you rephrase, please?
Oh, very good. Um, so his challenges that he has, he says, as soon as he understands that imperfections are just normal, where does he get
Yes,
where does he get his perfection tendencies from? Where is that coming from?
just the way he is. He likes to see perfection in things and look for perfection. And every little bit of imperfection is not good enough for him. Um, but what he does, it's there is no perfection. You have to understand that and live with it and be okay with it and at peace with it, and um, it should work out.
And when you say there's no perfection, are you talking about in terms of being in a human state, the limited human state, or the illusional limited human state?
Just looking at what he looks at every day, trying to understand what sits in front of him, and looking at everything that he looks at every day, and understanding that it will never be the same all the time. Um, you have to take the good with the bad and use the probabilities.
Oh, very good. And the what we're doing now, having these sessions, how does that help him?
I think he needs to hear that he's on the right path, but if he's looking for perfection all the time, he's not going to make any headway, or it's not going to be as fast as he wants. He needs to really take the good with the bad, and play to the probabilities as he knows he should. And if he's looking for something that is going to reoccur 100% of the time, it's never going to be. If it happens 70% of the time, this is more natural and this is what's acceptable. That's what he needs to understand.
And in terms of he's been extremely drawn to spiritual matters of late. Like, of course, he's doing the session and he's meeting a total another aspect of himself, and as a female as well. How does this play into? I mean, because he all of a sudden he's so interested in this. Why? What's the reason behind that? How important is it?
He lost faith in life in general, and he had big aspirations, but started, uh, being confronted with, you know, uh, challenges, and the desire and the fire um, has not been the same. Um, and this is just to remind him that it's just a process, and it's a lot of changes that have happened for him over the past few months, and he's gone to a place where it's been very lonely, and he's had the opportunity to really work on himself all that time. And progression is necessary, and came to a point where he felt like he wasn't making the progress that he should really be making, and that pushed him into looking into himself more.
And by him getting to know himself better, his whole self, his multidimensional self, how does that help him? It's much larger picture than he'd been focusing out of or focusing in.
Yeah, he's very stubborn. When he has one idea in his mind, um, he just doesn't let go.
And the session that he's doing right now, where he's literally talking to another aspect of himself, you, Nancy, how does this help him to connect with other aspects of his multidimensional self? Does it help for him to know that he's more than what he thought he was?
I don't know if he understands that just yet, but I think he needs to hear that um, he's on the right track, and to trust, every day, um, every day as a progression.
Excellent. So, Nancy, he has a desire to know more about himself, and he had a desire to know about his extraterrestrial, uh, to see if he had any extraterrestrial expressions of himself. And I'm asking you now, can you present him, or you and Misty present him to one of his maybe extraterrestrial aspects?
Yes.
Very good. And I'm going to make the suggestion that the extraterrestrial is coming in a ship, in a light ship. And I'll let you do the rest. Who are you bringing forward? Which aspect of him as an extraterrestrial?
A man and a woman.
Oh, very good. And how would you am I speaking directly to Nancy then?
Yes.
And Nancy, if you would for me, uh, and of course through him, describe this man and woman that you've brought forward.
They are Pleiadians.
Pleiadians. And just for our human aspect, could you describe them, please?
They are very human-like looking. Uh, just a very similar shape and form.
How tall
Just
are they?
um, about 6, 7 feet tall.
And you say a male and a female.
Hmm.
Well, can you go ahead and make an introduction? Introduce Laurent to the Pleiadians. Pleiadians.
Yes.
And for reference, do they have names? How are they connected to him?
Telepathy.
How are the Palladians, this male and female Palladian, how are they connected to Laurent?
Another part of him.
So these are, he has a female Palladian aspect and a male Palladian aspect of himself.
Yes.
And do they exist in the same space and time?
Yes.
And do they know themselves that they're connected in that way?
Yes.
And what is their message for him since these two particular ones come forward? If you could get a message from the male and a message from the female, with the female first, please. Only what's in his best interest to know. He's been interested in his extraterrestrial connection, and so thank you very much for coming forward. Nancy, can you interpret for him, please? Are they doing something to you, Laurent?
No.
Are they talking? Are they communicating with Nancy?
I feel the presence, but I don't feel anything else.
Very good. And how does it feel to know that there's two Palladians connected to you?
This is really cool.
I mean, because an Andromedan, an Orion, or a Syrian, so many things could have come forward, but two Palladians come forward.
Mm.
And what is Misty doing?
She's just buzzing around, flying around.
Very good. And what is Nancy doing?
She's standing there, fronting the Pleiadians.
And did they
And
come into? Did they come in a ship?
they just came in light.
Oh, in light. Very good. Very good. And so do you see two light beings there, and you're getting the impression that it's a male and a female.
Yes, just their
And what does the
energy.
oh, very good, excellent. And what is the energy? Does it have a? Can you see this energy at all? A color or anything like that?
Yes, it's bright, white, and blue. Lots of blue.
Very good. Listen, for the very first time to meet them, this is really good. We can come back and communicate with them once again later. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. And just for the last time, if there's a message, and Nancy, if you could receive the message and give it to Laurent, and he could give it to me, or you can just speak directly through Laurent, what is their message to him?
To keep the course,
Keep the
things
course.
things would happen in time.
I want you to thank him very much for coming forward. We're just here for a brief meeting, the meeting that we just had. Our time is very limited, and that we're doing this. This is our second time through. And I'd like you to thank them and let them go ahead back into their ship. Visualize them leaving with much love and thanks. And I'd like you also to thank Nancy for coming forward again and tell her once again we'll be back again. She'll probably float back out to her boat and tell me when she's floated back out and she's headed back in her own direction.
She is. She's gone now.
Oh, very good. And let's just let Misty, I really would like for Misty to take your hand and you to turn into a fairy. You're still be a male, so you don't have to worry about it. And I'd like you to fly back to the garden. I know you love to fly. I want you to tell me what it feels like to be a fairy, or to be that size and to fly and have wings.
It's not as much fun as being a big bird.
Okay, so would you rather just go ahead and turn into a bird then, while Misty remains the who she is?
No, I can fly as a little fairy for today.
Okay, very good. What do your wings look like?
They're pretty small and just, fragile.
Can you look at
Uh,
them? Are they I mean, what do they look like?
they're white, you know, uh, not too transparent, but fairly light white, um,
Okay.
kind of much like a bee, I guess.
And how does her wings look compared to yours?
They're very similar,
Okay.
except you know,
Now, when you think of size, now that you're back in the garden, how big are the bees and the butterflies flying around?
they're pretty big.
Are they bigger than you as a fairy
Yeah,
size? Huh?
yeah,
Wow, that's interesting. And let's
but they're very friendly though. They look like the cartoon more so than a bee like you would normally see them.
oh, excellent. Hey, how about you guys all land on one of those big flowers? A butterfly, a bee, Misty, and you. All of you just sitting on a big flower.
Yes,
Oh, very good. How cool is that?
that's great.
And I want you to go ahead and address the bee. If you had an opportunity to say something to a bee, what would you say to it?
Uh, keep the honey coming.
Oh, cool. And what does
A
the bee?
car is getting into the garage right now. Uh, might have to stop.
Oh, very good. All right, let's go ahead and walk back through the door.
Okay.
And I'd like you to close the door. And I'd like you to say goodbye to Misty. They can hear you, and the butterfly and the bee. And take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale and feel the relaxation moving through your body.